Whoa! What's his deal?
What's his deal? He saved at Metro with no activation fees and got one line of unlimited 5G for $25 a month. And with a 5-year price guarantee. Only at Metro.
The Richard Harris Law Firm gets so many great wins for our clients. People wonder if we're magical. I mean, sure, we know how to fight hard and get the highest possible settlements. And with all that fighting, we've become Nevada's largest personal injury law firm, recovering billions for our clients. Legendary? Yeah. But magical? What do you think, Asher? Are we magical? Call the Richard Harris Law Firm, 222-2222.
You found a place of complete focus. You ordered your thoughts and mastered your mind. And all the while, you were on the train home. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen.
A very convincing map one from Team Falcons put them up very convincingly. I will say that was a very strong map from them, and I think moving forward, we're not going to say we have concerns for Secret, but all we're going to say is, my God, they are all guns blazing right now.
Yeah, no, they absolutely are. I think Falcons, realistically, they started out so hot on the attack. How did they do that? It was off the back of the Blitz. I would say, realistically, they were causing problems because they were just running behind a Blitz at all of the Secret roamers, and then ultimately it took Secret way too long to adapt into that. Once you get a free half, that was the second time today they've got a free attack half on Consulate, our strongest defender-sided map currently. You set yourself up for great success.
Yeah, it was a game in 3 phases. If you look at it here on the round summary, by the way, it starts, like you said, very good on the early with the Blitz and 3 attacks in a row.
Yep.
Then there's a turning point after the attack timeout. They understand the play style of Team Falcons. They understand they need to pick them apart, and it works well for 3 rounds in a row.
Yeah.
The problem was, as soon as Falcons is in defense, they can capitalize on the individuals, they can go aggressive, and they can also punish the lack of sometimes adaptation from Team Secret. I want to say, what was that about forcing that CEO plant to Tachanka fire, for example?
Yeah.
You know, there were some examples
That
where
was
I was like,
calamity. That round.
I was like, why do you keep going there? Like, you know, there's 25 canisters in that, you know. So I don't know. There were some weird examples of Team Secret failing to adapt at some point.
Do we feel as though potentially this was a game of, I guess, individuality by any means?
I wouldn't say individuality. I would say realistically defensive power, especially on Consulate. You get to sit behind a lot of utility, and you get to have individual gunfights that are in the favor of the defenders, and I think Falcons are always going to win those out. They've got the big players in the big critical moments. You know, so Soltov, massive amount of kills. Chaiko, massive amounts of kills on those defenses, and that's what it added up to.
The thing for me, though, is it's not all bad news for Secret, right? Yes, Falcons looked very good, but it's not all bad news.
No, because whenever we see mistakes from Secret, we can also praise what they do well. And I think round 7 was a perfect example of that. Look at that adaptation. They're in a 3v3. They're trying to attack on the medium bomb side. And look at what Noah will do on the sense here. It's critical here. he will completely cut off a single player that's
so
stuck in
nice.
Kobe. Look at C4. The C4 is failed here because they have no information because of the Sense Wall. The Blackbird can rush upon the cover of the Sense Wall. At that time, Noah can go for the plant. Look at the top of your screen here. Solotov dies to Adrian, who stayed to hold the backstab. And at this point, Noah can use the cover of his own Sense Wall to go for the diffuser. And at the same time, look at the Blackbird, creating pressure, pushing away the last remaining defender. It's a beautiful 3v3 clean execute.
Yeah.
Goes to show Secret has the level. We just need that consistency because right now Falcons has that.
I agree. We need to see more of that. The one thing that Secret did really well in that round was get it. Once it got back to a 3v3, they almost paused. Savage was kind of just lurking on the site door as the Blackbeard to try and work out, right, what's the game plan here? And they come up with a game plan on the fly within seconds, execute it perfectly. Now, that's what we do need to see more of going into Chalet.
Now, Chalet is all about the gunfights, and this will be a critical change that I need to see. Right now, the gunfights are going the way of Falcons. It needs to change with a full confidence on Chalet, as Mowgli seems to state it here.
It's a big one, no doubt about it. Team Secret, their backs are up against the wall, but we just saw a very hot and heavy consulate. It's time for us to head to Chalet.
Well, from one French quote-unquote map to the other, we cannot shake this country just like we can't shake it in real life. Will Falcons have a slight edge because of the location? I don't think so. This is a very good map for Team Secret, so map number 3 seems quite likely. But Jesse, what are the win conditions, or singular win condition for Team Secret here on Chalet?
Well, I think the desk broke it down, Parker. We've seen excellence from Team Secret. I'm so glad that Leo chose to replay that round where they had the Sens executing the 3v3. We know what Secret are capable of. It's about getting that consistently. It's about getting that over and over again, making sure you can have that mental reset in some of your attacks, starting on the offensive side in a map that can be offensive-sided in certain circumstances. That gives them the opportunity to showcase exactly how good of an attacking team they are. Team Secret, of course, come into this matchup with the highest defending win rate of any team in the tournament, at least before today's matches had occurred. But their attacks still need to be strong when playing up against the Falcons. It's two European rivals who are going head-to-head in an all-EML matchup. Parker, they ban out the Azami as you have to. They ban out the Valkyrie, which I think is a really smart play. And then Dogabi Capitao to be removed by Team Falcons. Operators that we do see played quite often. Noah on the Capitao, one of his favorite operators to bring out here on Chalet, so it makes a lot of sense to take that off the board.
Strong ops for both of these teams. Nuisance ops gone. Falcons removing the Capitao that has caused them so many issues on previous maps. Falcons adopting Capitao as one of their own earlier today. I think even you touched upon that in the Shopify Rebellion matchup that Falcons had earlier. Shopify Rebellion losing that matchup, of course. Down to the lower bracket they go. For the people that were not here for map number 1, the winner of this series is guaranteed to make the main stage, because while their next match that will be on Tuesday will not be played in front of a live crowd, should they lose that game, then they make the main stage via the lower bracket. So let's say Falcons 2-0 Secret, and then they lose their next match. That's okay, because they'll be on main stage in the lower bracket. But just for a single opportunity, should they lose that one, they would go home. Earlier today, we started off with M80 Space Station. Well, this is the groups, obviously. We actually started off this stream here with Furia Heretics. Furia winning that series 2-0 and then beating Weibo Gaming just about an hour ago with a 2-0 as well. Furia in mighty good form. Then it was us on Shopify Rebellion versus Team Falcons. It was a scrappy matchup with an incredible third map. Team Falcons winning that one, and now here they are against Team Secret. On the other stream, we had M80 versus Space Station and SSG taking that series 2-0, and then Fluxo W7M defeating D+ before going on to narrowly lose to FaZe Clan. So FaZe Clan awaits the winner of Wildcard Space Station, which should be going on the B stream, and Furia awaits the victor of this matchup here on your screen right now. Those games will go live tomorrow, as this is our final match on the A stream today.
And it starts with Falcons going down to the basement in what is potentially our final map of the series. And a lot of teams choose not to play bottom floor bomb site here on Chalet. They prefer to go to the top 3 sites. Falcons, at least in the previous game against Furia on the first day of groups did not choose to play the top floor even once. So Falcons may be suggesting that they don't like that top floor, even with an Azami banner, especially with that. They might just decide that it's too difficult of a site to hold on to. It's not really a roam. There's a slight roam from Shaiko and Uses here over towards the library side. Soltov actually on the top floor as well. So they're not roaming dining, which is where you'll see a lot of teams go for a roam on this side of the map, but they're happy to hold on to library. They're happy to hold on to games, and even Uses on the Clash, playing very forward to try to get information to feed Soltov a kill.
Uses paying off in terms of his ability to communicate with his teammates. He's been playing these shield ops quite frequently, and I mean, it's been working. While his numbers might be taking a bit of a beating, the rest of the team tends to flourish in that situation. I think everybody's kind of united here. Jesse, as Brede gets the leadoff pick against Mowgli, you gladly will get no kills if it means your team is better situated to win the 6 Invitational. Adrian bursting in, and down goes Brede, down goes Shaiko. Just like that, Team Secret will take a numbers advantage with 30 seconds left. Now the Goyo of Solotov being hunted down by Noah. That's got everybody on the run on the side of Falcons. They know where the Clash is. They knew where Solotov is. The only question is, what is Leaky Fact doing? He's over on lobby stairs, running up to a drone, fearlessly engaging with Adrian. Solotov gunning down Savage. They trade. Diffuser has been surrendered. Time running out. Noah and Solotov in a 1v1, and Solotov is just going to hide at this point in time. Running outside, giving Falcons the first round. A cheeky end of the round, but hey, win's a win. You do not need to take the engagement. If you are a defender, the clock will give you the round.
Yeah, a messy, strange round to start us off on Chalet. The roam is only library game side, so nobody's over towards dining. In Secret, they identify that and they see it as an opening. They push towards the wine side of the map. They take Big Garage. They try to get a plant down in through the wine cellar. But as soon as they finally get into that position where they can go for the plant, that's when the Clash starts to hunt them down. That's where the information comes through from Team Falcons. They respond to that by moving more players into the basement. At the same time, there are Secret players on the top 2 floors trying to hit those players that were roaming around library, roaming around games. They don't quite have as strong of information, so it allows players like Ligifac to run up those snow stairs, get some of those picks. The push very disconnected as some of the wine players and then some of the fireplace players were just very far away from each other. Meant that in that 1v1, there was just no time to cross the map to get back over to where your teammates died and refrag their bodies. At that point, it was Falcons who had spread out really, really nicely and clutched things up. So very creative first round here on Chalet. Not an easy defense to attack, and Secret can't get it done.
Bit of a worrying sign for Secret on their very first round. It was the coordination that I think is the bigger issue here. You can lose a round and we can go, you know, that's bound to happen. As we've said many, many times on this broadcast, you can do everything right and still ultimately lose. But it was obvious that Secret were not in lockstep with one another on that previous round. They had those same issues on Consulate. If they carry over to Secret's map pick, that's when you start to sound the alarm bells. Falcons already have you on the ropes by winning their map. Now Secret needs to do the same, because if you're Team Secret, you are looking at Fortress, a map that Falcons just had their wings clipped on by Shopify Rebellion earlier today, and you're thinking, we can do this. You just got to get there first.
This is a cool little setup again from Falcons. You've got Ligifac, the captain, on the Clash running around the top floor, trying to protect his teammates who are also up here with him. They don't protect Shaiko. He still managed to take about 50 HP damage from that Case's window. So we do see the first strike coming up from Secret, but it's not enough for a kill. Player in library corner, of course, that's Usus on the Wamai. Going to be very tough to get him out of here. They've got lots of nades, lots of flashes. So in theory, burning him out is possible, but it will require a lot of utility. At the same time, Soltov with his ADSs are trying to catch that util as well.
Seems to be working, Jesse, as far as I can tell. ADSs, magnets, one of which was just tossed out by Usus as they pilot drones on in to give themselves more information. Nades have also been used. Only one remains in pocket for June. And I mean, if worst comes to worst, you've got Solotov there to assist.
Yeah, I think the util worked perfectly for them. Parker, they threw a lot in, but it wasn't enough. Still holding that library position. Noah gets the first pick, but Usus trades one back.
And they're just going to continue to trade as they land blows left and right, left and right. Shaiko inside sight gunning down Mowgli. They will see Noah rush up. Clash coming in for an assist. Adrian and June last two uses, finds yet another secondary shotgun out. Who will get this final pick? Adrian in this spot, dancing around it. Leaky Fact, the captain himself, gets the job done. 2-0 for Falcons, and they have looked really confident in the process.
It's excellent utility play, Parker, the Wamai plus Jaeger combo, a classic alongside the Clash, and then it's the 25-year-old from Chester, England, who really steps up and hits the shots.
Guys, because the info is there, we're just not being able to catch it up, so please reset so you guys can poke onto each other a little bit more. Like these clashes, it's been a pain in the ass over there. If you guys want to go for the kitchen take onto the other side right now, I think we just adapted to the strat, the open over there, so we can have an easier time into this. But for the rest, guys, overall, I think if you guys decide to ban it later, it was about this half takes is still a good idea against them, like as we did in basement, you know. But we need to be able to be playing at the same time over there. Like even into the previous round, it was really good, the read that you guys were having and the reactions as well. But we just lost some way into the middle over there, you know. So guys, chill a bit, try to gather information that you guys are having, and then let's force these strong operators against them, okay?
Yeah.
No panic yet.
Nope.
They know that starting on attack on Chalet is usually with the wind working against you. The most played map here at the 6 Invitational, and it does skew ever so slightly to the defenders. But Chalet, as we have seen, can be really favorable turf for the attackers, of course, depending on operator bans and teams' individual stats when it comes to attacking and defending. So no real cause for concern just yet, but still some worrying signs there that they got to nip it in the bud on the side of Secret before it gets even worse.
We are hyped on the side of Falcons. You can feel the energy all the way from the other room where you and I are casting, Parker. They're absolutely into this matchup. 5 rounds away now from making main stage at the 6 Invitational. You're right, that tack timeout from Twister, not a panic tack timeout just yet, but feels there's things that need to be improved. Worried about the Clash, which is being brought now for the 3rd round in a row. Twister's been head coach of this Team Secret squad for over almost 2 years exactly, actually, so has been with this team for a very long time, helped build it, respected as one of the longest standing coaches in the game. And despite failing to shoot some default cams immediately, they are still, I think, in a strong place to bring this map back. It is their pick. You've got to imagine they've got some tricks coming later on.
Down goes Noah, though. Shaiko on the run out. He's been playing loose. It's been nice to see, going for spawn peaks, going for runouts, unpredictable factors that your opponents not prepared for can easily knock them off stride. Secret's been knocked off stride 2 rounds in a row. Even if their coach Twister said they had a good read on it, they weren't able to execute on it. Some things tripped them up. That hold inside a library is an old one, but it did seem to be a bit frustrating for Secret to deal with. Oh. Mowgli almost gets a much belated trade back. As now, minute off of the clock, Secret finds themselves in a disadvantage.
And Secret want to clear this office position, Parker, but it's so difficult when there's a tuber out playing in the office position. That's where Solotov is, and as long as he's playing there, that office wall is likely to stay closed for a very long time. You can see Mowgli's a little frustrated, wants to get it open. Might have found one little angle where the Zoto canister is not covering, although it does look kind of frozen to me. Manages to breach the wall one way or another, though, and that starts to give them a bit of an entry point. Now we see the ace charges coming through, too. Those were thrown long ago, but finally the freeze wears off, and they can get some drones inside of office. The players have fallen back for now from Falcons, but they can't give up much more space before they start the fight.
Flashbangs go out to give Mowgli maybe some coverage here as Savage peels off of his position. They are spread out, trying to clear out this top floor as best as they can. Drones working on those solarium/trophy stairs. They had coverage over by Chimney. They had a lot of this map marked down, but 2 of these players, almost 3 of these players, not even inside the map just yet. Jube had a quiet first map. He'll collect 2. His patience rewarded as Shaiko and Solotov both peek that window. Solotov, to his credit, was backing up, not looking for an active fight. Can't say the same for Shaiko. And with that, Secret will now take the man advantage.
There's the Azami ban coming into play. It makes those windows so powerful for the attackers. It's Jumu strikes twice, And now with the man advantage, Secret have a little bit of room to play with. Top floor is fully conceded their way. Uzus and Bride are the only two guns on the bomb sites. And now with Bride falling, it'll be just Uzus in the clash to lock things down.
Not just Bride, but Uzus will join. Leaky Fact will die shortly thereafter, and Secret will once again successfully convert their timeout. So being able to talk to Twister, paying off immediately in map number 1, and exactly the same thing now unfolds here on Secret's map.
And I think it comes down to the patience, Parker. I mean, they had really good information as to what that hold was going to look like. They seemed aware that it was going to be an office hold, that they had to deal with that 2-round. They had to get in through piano. Joom spent a good bit of time just out on the west balcony, watching in through the bathroom window, watching in through piano window, waiting for his opportunity. And when the 2K presented itself, he went and grabbed it. Joom sometimes thought of as the single best player in all of Europe, maybe the world. He's been hyped up to such levels before. Some players on Falcons would like to say something about that, I'm sure. Shaiko, of course, still maybe a bit older than he used to be, but still in the prime of his career, hitting some ridiculous shots here at the 6th Invitational. Coming into today, Joom and Shaiko were the first and second highest rated players at this event, and it was by less than a single point in the EPS score that differentiated them. So really, it has been a battle between these two EU boys. Joom out on top on that one, but plenty more game to play.
Joom has played fewer rounds than Shaiko, quite a lot fewer rounds. Joom entered this matchup playing 108. Shaiko was at 132, and yet just 18 kills separate them. So much more efficient there from Joom, but again, there was a period of time where Shaiko was averaging over a kill a round, and I know that that doesn't sound that impressive, but if every single round you spawn in and you get 1 kill, oh boy, teams will be clamoring to have you on that roster, assuming, of course, that those kills are actually high impact, and nobody is doubting themselves about Shaiko's efficiency and his impact. He can absolutely dominate games.
Let's go.
He doesn't usually clean up in garbage time. He's typically the one at the forefront getting early kills and then dying shortly thereafter. So Shaiko being able to trade himself out, massive boon. He's done just that so far. Through 3 rounds, he's 2 for 2.
Clash ban absolutely necessary for Team Secret. It was such an important part of the Falcons' defense on all 3 bomb sites. It won't be available anymore. Uzus actually played it back in round 1, not Liquifax, so he moves over to the Melusi to try to continue to slow down some of these attackers, a little bit more stationary, but same idea. This push, this hold looks very similar from Falcons, with Saltov still trying to play up aggressive in towards Library. Doesn't have the Clash to protect him this time, Parker, but still confident in his aim.
I'm reloading.
Solotov is fishing for a kill right now on the window. He's caught in the cross. Noah has him from the back of Library out on that other balcony window. It's a devastating loss for Solotov. EFAC will also be dropped. So Secret, they are much more confident now than they were just moments ago, and it is showing, and it is showing hard.
It's getting hotter in here, Parker. Joom is heating up. These last couple of kills, these last couple of rounds, they've been very impactful for him, hoping to catch one as they walk up the blue stairs. Uzus might do just that. We saw some play from Shaiko on the snowmobile stairs, but he's not really looking to get aggressive. So it really just comes down to the one flank from Uzus to try to equalize these numbers. If that can be successful, if that can catch someone off guard, then it could tilt its scales back in favor of Falcons.
Obviously, there are 4 other players on the side of Secret, but Joom was only able to net 6 kills in map number 1 across 11 rounds. Joom's already 2/3 of the way there. And we haven't even finished round 4, so still time for him to eclipse that total. Down goes Uzus to Joom. Don't you believe it? Mowgli is gone, and well, it's Secret to double up on Falcons with a little bit more than 40 seconds left on the clock. Diffuser will need to be retrieved as now Joom absorbs a bit of damage. He's been dropped by the guns of Falcons. Shaiko securing that kill. Down he goes at the hands of Adrian, and Bride finished inside of blue by Noah. Secret finally waking up and showing what you can do on attack on Chalet. Tie game.
Again, I think a really good round from Joom. I was singing his praise in the midst of that. Obviously, the entry to get in from Library was really big from him. Also was catching that flank from Uzus. That was, I think, another big point, because that was Falcons' attempt to get back into the round after they had lost a heavy man count advantage on the top floor. They know how Chalet works. They want to play aggressive. They want to swing to get into those early gunfights, because if they don't, often the attackers can just bulldoze over the site. So tried to play aggro up and towards Library, didn't really go their way. Then we're watching for the flank. Really smart play to come over from Joom. And even when he dies, the trades are there. It wasn't too much of a focus on the basement, which I really liked. They recognize that a lot of these Falcons guys want to leave the basement. They want to roam. They want to get aggressive. And, you know, in the end, Secret were very ready for that. So very good play coming out from the European team. We're back to being tied at 2. Parker?
Again, attackers can have an advantage on this map. Some of the bomb sites skew towards their side, but it does come down to bans. It does come down to familiarity. Falcons have already taken more rounds on their opponent's map pick here than they did on that Fortress map, and Fortress is what awaits us as the tiebreaker. It was 7-1 for the Falcons. They were on the one side on that Fortress map against Shopify Rebellion earlier today, so being able to improve upon that score is good. Secret took more rounds off of Falcons on console than Shopify Rebellion was able to as well. So just goes to show that Secret, just in terms of raw numbers, standing up a little bit better against this other EU team. Yuzus gets Joom. I don't know if they've cleared out Library at all. Noah's been dropped as well. The only one on the ground for Falcons is Solitov. Adrian dies. Mowgli or Savage will need to retrieve Noah. If not, this round goes in Falcons' favor, and he'll do so in a hurry. We are only 50 seconds into action in round 5.
Yuzus is so good in that corner, man. I feel like he has been unstoppable for Secret. They can't get past him. They tried the previous attempt to throw all of their utility at him, and it wasn't good enough. So this time they said, what if we just pop a Lion and jump in, try to coordinate something to get us going? But even then, Yuzus was ready for it. Really clean shots to be able to keep that man advantage in the favor of Secret. Savage hunting for something in Mudroom, breaks open the barricade, but doesn't find a head with it, so he has to retreat and reposition. Team Secret are going to take this as an opportunity to re-clear over towards Piano. Take this office space. It's not being held by Falcons right now, and as soon as they become aware of that, they can use it to try to mount a second push. This is something they actually did quite well on console, working with man disadvantage. They've got to be able to do that again now on Chalet.
Mowgli taking a bit of damage, marching on in after that F-Naught is shot. Now it's Leaky Fat getting torn asunder, but still firing back. 2 of the 3 remaining players on Secret are gone, and Savage finds himself with a wealth of time, but no real idea as to where to go next. That defuse kit several walls away from him, and he will have to cross basically the Rubicon to get over towards it. Trying to free up some space over on blue stairs with the nade going out, a pre-fire, using that fire extinguisher for some coverage. And, well, one of the big downsides of Blackbeard, Jesse, is you make a lot of noise. They know exactly where you're coming from. There's no discreet way for Savage to go about this. I appreciate how much damage he's doing to that reinforcement, but unfortunately, he's not going to be able to get Yuzus on the other side of it. Yuzus might be able to see him if he continues to move in this direction. Yes! The carbine gets put to good use. Falcons will regain the lead after surrendering the previous 2 rounds to Secret.
Same player, same corner, same site. I mean, the Brit just really does it the best on anyone on this team. Uses really clean play from the corner once again. That could have been even more of a dominant round if the Boss G was in the same state it was a year and a half ago or so, because that spawn peek that was initially attempted by Solitov could have been a kill on a previous patch. Not so in 2026. Uses again, just trained in the right direction, you know, focused on where this push is going to come from, not caught sleeping. Obviously, there was no util thrown in to support that push, right? And you might look at it and say, oh, the Secret are idiots. You know, they should have used some util there. But they tried the util route in round 2, and it didn't work at all for them. So they tried to catch them off guard. They tried to go fast instead of using util and telegraph what their plan was, but it just didn't matter. Yuzus was so ready for it.
And you know what a piece of util is that people don't often account for? Drones. So if you're not going to use your drones either, the element of surprise is something that you got to be concerned with. Imagine how much map control Secret would have had if they won that engagement against Yuzus. You control Library, now you can exert a lot of pressure onto Chimney. If you're playing Chimney as a defender, now you need to worry an awful lot about a rotate through main lobby. Blue stairs, you have to hold or die. All of these things just kind of coming together in this perfect harmony And obviously losing that engagement, losing Joom so early, well, that's not where you want it to be. And Yuzus was able to hold that spot. Nothing could be done to wrestle it away from Falcons, who now set themselves up, Jesse, to be able to take this first half 4-2.
Saltov has retaken the corner. I thought it was Yuzus who once again just went right back to the spot where he keeps dominating, but different player this time, Parker, and probably less success. Has to drop immediately with the nade being tossed his way.
And they'd accounted for that, right? The moment that the nade went in and he got pinged by a drone, he knows the 1-2 punch is there. You got to get out of the way or you're going to get hit. Saltov manages to escape with his life intact.
This last time they were here too, Parker, don't forget, I mean, they tried to really hunker down inside of the office. This time they've spread themselves a lot farther around the map. They've got players inside of games. They've got players that were starting library. They've got players who are trying to get past the crossfire, and they do just that. With more map control being held by the Falcons, it's going to slow Secret down, and then hopefully the players who are still in office, in piano, will have a better time holding on to this despite the fact they don't have the tuber out.
This great disappearing act from Falcons must be frustrating Secret at this point in time, as they had a couple players dead to rights, but didn't get any of them. Adrian, the first casualty. As we hit the halfway point of the round, Falcons looking to make a statement here on Chalet. Imagine continuing their rampage against Team Secret by taking their own map, punching a ticket to the upper bracket, or to rather the main stage through the upper bracket. But Team Secret's got something to say about that, and they find 2 very quick kills to snatch that advantage away from the Falcons.
Reload!
Well, point is the defuse kit come down, Parker. They dropped it just outside of the dining wall, and that is still fully reinforced. No more hard breaching. They didn't bring any to begin with on this round. None from the striker and none anywhere else. So they've got to find some other way to get into the bomb site. If you're just trying to get through that door into dining, that's going to be a really awkward attempt to make it. They do have the shield, but even Joom is on low HP, and Bride is holding a nitro as we speak. So this is going to be really awkward to get a plant down despite the numbers.
That soft wall there is prime fodder for the Blackbeard shield to charge on through. The ton of utility still remaining. They got smokes and nades, so that will have to do the trick. What little remained to Joom is gone. That's the diffuser dropped as well. A huge play by Bride that might have just saved this round. Nade goes in, Yuzus, dies. Some martyrdom from Mowgli, a 2v2, and a wild swing over in West Main. Bride, last man standing. Noah and Savage to try and tie this one together, and Noah is so good. We say Joom's name a lot, but don't ever count out Noah. The lead for Falcons is gone the first half, perfectly tied up 3-3.
Spoit fans, cover your ears, but Noah is quickly becoming the best Swedish player in Rainbow Six Siege. The way he's able to play around some of these positions that get opened up by Mowgli or even Joom have been really, really impressive to watch through EML and through this tournament as well. Noah, just some brilliant shots to clutch that one back. I really thought Bride was in a position where he could have won that. As soon as he downs the defuse kit with the Blackbeard, there is nobody else in a position to pick that up. But I think time was just a little bit too high still. The speed from Team Secret was really, I think, a benefactor for them in that round, as they just had so much to play with. 20 seconds, I believe, when that 1v2 starts. So lots of time to play with. Noah able to hit those shots, readjust his aim, and have a really clean round to tie this at 3. Would have been kind of awkward if it was a 4-2 Falcons split on their opponent's pick.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like what you said about Noah quickly becoming one of the best Swedish players, a small shot across the bow to our good friend Spoit.
I told him to cover his ears, okay? They didn't hear that. Now they have.
Do you think they listened?
Yeah, if I say Spoit fans cover your ears, they wouldn't keep listening.
That's a good point.
But now we've had a discussion about it, so now I'm gonna get like some messages. Most likely.
I did an interview with Spoit for some supplementary content yesterday or 2 days ago, and I've been tagged in it. Spoit basically rated Ambi higher than Stompin', and let me tell you, I have to put on a hazmat suit to wade into those comments. So, hearing Spoit, Stompin', and Ambi fans all collide with one another over and over and over again.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Let me tell you, it's not a fun way to spend an afternoon. So
the Noah fans are now going to get involved too, so it's going to be a real brawl.
I'm sure Noah is amassing a steady group of fans, but he has not exactly had a ton of time at the top of EML and Tier 1 to have so many. And again, we do tend to say Joom's name an awful lot. Noah, though, having a very good day so far, and being able to stack up against the Falcons, that's mighty impressive. Noah has the second best KD and the second highest rating right now of all competitors, barely trailing a little known guy called Trico.
Oh, I've heard of him. Yeah. He won the Yongshiping, I think. Is that the guy?
Yeah, on Be Genius. Way back in the day.
Bride jumping in the building on the Monty inside of games. There was a roam here, but it's still kind of just Joom now locking down this spot. His phone will ring, and he will keep watching the hatch. Bride is not too far away from him, though, Parker.
No, and Bride and Solotov both taking some licks now from this Team Secret team as they just continue to fire bullets away. Bride inside of games. He's got a good read on this back bar. He's got a read on bar as well. As out goes the Nitro cell. Mowgli will take down Solotov. Bride impervious to the Nitro. Leaky Fact tears through the Frenchman on Team Secret. And back to even footing these teams will go.
You still haven't been able to root Joom out of this position, nor have you been able to take down Savage. So this is map control that Secret are refusing to give up. Yuz is going to fall to Savage. That continues to be this two-man roam, finding success here in bar and games. They've got to find some way to root them out, Parker, but they've got only a single more flash. They don't have a whole lot of utility. Licky Fact finally gets an angle, but it took you so much time. Even with Joom going down, Secret could maybe fall back and still find themselves in a good position.
I like this recovery from Falcons. It's been quite graceful. Adrian and Noah will now walk towards Library, hoping to catch these Falcons players mid-rotate, but then opting instead to take the safety of the bomb site as their next step. I think ultimately the right call. A lot of info will be gained from Bride as he stares down Noah, who's last standing. Shaiko punishing Adrian to go for the run out. He's spotted and immediately Bride reads him like a book. Shaiko gets him on the cut, heading back to the site, and Falcons will take their first attack.
Shaiko looking so good as he yells across to his opponent. Not often a yapper, Shaiko, but feeling himself up against his domestic rivals. And again, a really good clear through that games. I was worried about how long it was taking, Parker, but as I was saying my sentence, they ended up collapsing on a couple of those frags. Looking back in through Mudroom was absolutely massive. This kill right here started that kind of turn in the round, which started to get them that advantage. Then once Joom goes down to the hatch, he's left all alone the moment Savage goes down. No idea how Shaiko wins that gunfight. And I think in that 2v3, we just started to see Secret playing aggressive in order to play aggressive, in order to get some kind of a chance in the round. Lots of energy being felt by Falcons 3 rounds away from main stage.
Every single round counts. It's a game of inches, a game of centimeters. I suppose if you were over here in Europe, you and I, their proximity to America, know inches quite well, but I mean, we don't use them in daily life. Falcons just edging out Secret on so many of these rounds. And what I will say is that if you go back and you watch Consulate, and now here on Chalet 2, yes, Secret has committed small missteps here and there, but they've not been playing a bad game.
No.
This is just Falcons and all of their practice carrying over from their matchup earlier. Yes, they obviously know how Team Secret plays. They played them an awful lot in the EML. They've played them at live events. They've played them at EWC, and Falcons really do have their number. But with the way Secret has turned it up a notch at this event, you gotta think eventually that trend line will break. At this present moment, it doesn't seem like it will be this match.
I mean, Jack and Leo had that great graphic at the start of our show. We know how much Falcons can dominate Secret, especially at international tournaments. We've seen it over and over again, and right now it feels like we're repeating history. Bride is once again taking some space inside of games. This looks identical to the round we just witnessed, Parker, but the bomb site is technically a floor below where it was previously. Why change your strategy, though? I guess if you're Secret, you're confident in it. It didn't work for you last time. You did trade out quite well. You got quite close with it. Joom and Savage remain that duo around games who want to get these opening picks.
Logic bombs will go off, so Solotov will immediately hunt for one of those players. He knows there's one sitting upstairs at Chimney. It sure looks like Adrian's silhouette, as Savage has now absorbed an awful lot of damage. Do they decide to scout for this raw? Do they go for it without any intel? Solotov taking some damage, so I think the jig might be up on his position as he entered in the basement under the eyes of Secret.
Uh-oh.
What are you doing there? Joom gets taken out by Savage. Is that a jump scare? That is a devastating loss for Team Secret.
It's just mistakes, Parker. They're trying the exact same defense that they just tried. I mean, there's some little tweaks, but in the end, Falcons are adapting to it too. They've got players in different positions. They've got Saltov coming up from the snow stairs as well, and then over to blue. They start to work Brede over this spot too. Lots of damage onto the Buck, but no kills yet.
And now the Monty will continue to assert himself. Brede chasing away these defenders. A drop, but the Malusi is there. Mowgli slaughtering Solotov in this position. Savage redeems himself by taking out the captain of the Falcons. From long enough range, Uses able to control that SMG-12. He wants more, but he bites off more than he can chew. Adrian shutting him down. Now the advantage goes back to Team Secret. Brede with only Shaiko as his escort, but through the wall, Shaiko gets the job done. This one's gonna be tricky. Not inside the bomb site. This is not bar games, Jesse. With 30 seconds to go, they now need to pivot over towards Kitchen. They have to be wary of that main lobby player. Shaiko dodging in game, dodging in real life as the bullets go over his head. We've got to flush out Adrian. He's got to flush out Savage, and he has to do so quickly. Brede has the attention. Oh my God! Shaiko kills them all! Sacre bleu! 5 rounds for Falcons, 2 away from a 2-0 victory over their regional rivals.
He just does things that shouldn't be possible, Parker. Not from an individual, not from one man. He's playing, of course, somewhat with Brede. Brede's being that distraction on the shield, but everybody is looking for Shaiko. Everybody is trying to hunt him down, but it doesn't matter. He's still the guy to hit those shots. He's still the guy to step up, even when the time is low, even when he's got no teammates to play around. The 2v3 from Shaiko and Brede is absolutely perfect. And just watch these shots again, please. It's the long angle, and then he finally finds Adrian, who he had been fighting all round long. Great distraction from Brede, but Shaiko, such beautiful shots.
And yet again, I'm going to talk about the guy who's not getting all that love. You gave him his flowers, but Brede played that perfectly. He played it so well up library stairs to flush these players out. He's directly responsible for the Malusi dropping down and then ultimately getting picked off by Falcons. And then he perfectly draws out the last player playing on Fireplace in main lobby while Shaiko picks both of them off. Without Brede, that is not possible. Go back to Consulate. Talk about Brede playing inside of that small office connected to CEO. He was also a great distracting point when he went undroned. Then on the Tachanka, same thing. Brede had great numbers on Consulate. He hasn't really needed to do that much from a fragging potential here on Chalet. But boy, oh boy, is he finding ways to impact these rounds without getting kills. There is a reason why Brede is widely considered to be one of the best support players to ever touch this game, and moments that we have seen in just this series show exactly why.
Detected a bomb.
This looks like the team that's been to 5 grand finals over the last 2 seasons. They look absolutely unstoppable. Tacking to the basement now. Falcons need 2 more rounds in order to lock Secret down and kick them to the lower bracket. Drones are strong to start. Another shield being brought by Falcons as well. They are not ones to shy away from this. Goo mines in library, but not really an issue. They can start to take this space, and Noah's under fire.
Uses starting things off. Noah is gone. Again, another formidable player from Secret to die early. Solotov does not expect Joom on that roam. Impacts will go out. Damage has been done to Uses, who is still in hot pursuit. Run as fast as you can. Falcons tearing through Secret, and just like that, it's all up to Adrian and Savage to hold down this bomb site. Half the round still to go, Jesse. I'm starting to smell a 2-0.
The electric types need to step up from Team Secret. They have to be able to get aggressive to get this man account back in their favor. The Valkyrie camera is unlikely to be so effective just because Liquidback has hacked them, first of all, and Shaiko's able to see them as well with that scanner. So this information is fully in the hands of Falcons. Every advantage you could want. The time is excellent. The numbers are excellent. The operators are excellent. Still Kendall is to play with as well. I don't know what the win con is for Secret. It's going to have to be an amazing play.
I think you got to get a 2K with one of these Nitro cells, which will obviously come from a Falcon stack up. You can only be good enough for a single pick at that angle, and now Savage has given his position away. Out goes the Nitro. Nothing to be done there. One more remains in pocket, but now Adrian is taking quite a beating in his position. Savage trying to stay alive as best as he can as 3 players from Falcons all stacked up by that wine wall, looking for an opening, looking for an operator to find themselves in the wrong side of their crosshairs. Shaiko and Uzis have been taking quite a beating, but they just rush in, and Falcons will ground the 2 electric operators on the side of Secret, finding themselves on series point.
They just can't be stopped, Parker. The momentum seems way too great at this point. The clear so fast through that top floor, and don't forget, Secret burned their attack timeout ages ago, which means they have no way to slow this Falcons team down. They've been incredible on the roam clear. The blitz coming out from Uzis, why not? He's already been so good so far today. On Chalet, it feels like Falcons have total momentum, total control. They will ban the Monty. I like the ban. The shields have been a big problem, but does it matter? Is it going to be enough when you still have the Blackbeard to play behind? You still have the Blitz to play behind. Falcons have been using these shields to get the space, and I don't think that's going to stop just because of a Monty ban.
I think the timeout is a perfect example of that. They were able, is a perfect thing to talk about. They were able to immediately convert 2 rounds off of it, but that's all she wrote for Secret. They have been held off the score sheet now for so long. Their confidence looks shattered. There's no energy on the team whatsoever. Motivation very clearly driving this Falcons team forward.
And is this not exactly what happened on map 1? I mean, Falcons go off to an early lead. We get attack timeout from Twister, and Secret get remotivated. They start to win rounds over and over again. But then once that momentum stops, once Falcons figure out how to adapt, and they don't even need to take their own attack timeout to do so, they just grab a hold of the game, and they never let it go until they hit 7. Secret have to find some way to grab that momentum back the same way that Falcons can. And even if they start to do that, Falcons have their attack timeout.
To their credit, Secret did win a round after Falcons took another round. So timeout was called, Team Secret wins a round. Falcons, or rather, timeout is called, Team Secret wins 2 rounds. Falcons win 1. Team Secret answers back. That did not happen on console. They won a couple rounds, then immediately they flamed out, and Falcons drove it home from that point on, largely enabled by the side swap. But here on the side swap, Falcons have won 3 consecutive attacking rounds. On Chalet again, Chalet can be favorable to the attackers. It just looks like Secret are finally meeting their match. Falcons own them in EML. Falcons have owned them internationally, and it sure looks like they're about to hand Secret their first loss of this event.
Top floor bomb site from Team Secret, and they've got a couple players very far from the site. Savage all the way in the basement. You've got Joom as well, who's over the library side, but I don't think Falcons care about any of that. They're in below the site. The Blitz is causing chaos. Saltov has been down. Adrian's done great work from inside of Dining, but he's all by himself. There's Ligifak finding Savage now. That flank up from the basement finding no value at all, and they pick up Saltov to keep that advantage on their side.
And now a flash over to Solarium, trying to get rid of that player from Secret who holds court in that position. They know they've got the Legion over there. Mowgli will draw even. Fire arrow's about to go out. Oh my. Wow. Noah's evaded in a pixel perfect position, and he will survive. Do they get the all clear to rotate in? What a spot for Noah to be in. I cannot believe he evaded those flames. Solotov now goes down to Joom's Toxic Babe. Noah persisting in this spot. Throwing out Gumine after Gumine. Falcons went for a quick swoop into the bomb site, but it did not work. Trying to take map control so quickly. And Secret have just held steady at this point in time. Leaky Fact very obviously wants this one away. Maybe his dinner plans, Jesse. He's about to find his 3rd kill if he can catch Joom in his position. Noah and Mowgli, the only 2 still standing. So Falcons with players alive. It's all up to Noah in a 1v3. And he gets shut down. Team Secret undefeated no more. Mon Dieu, the Frenchman will play in front of a French crowd. Falcons continuing their winning ways, and they move on with a 2-0 victory.
Falcons look as good as ever. Ligifak hitting the flank halfway through that round made all the difference. They had no clue of his lurk up the blue stairs, and he takes that final round for his team. Excellently played attacks from Falcons all day long. They played 5 maps today, Parker. It was not a short day, but they never slowed down.
And I mean, hey, everybody's talked about the Falcons getting to France and lifting a hammer on home soil for 3 of the players, because hey, They've got a Turk and they've got a Brit on the squad. These two teams know each other so well. They collide in the EML, they collide internationally, but Falcons always has their number. Today is no exception, driven largely by incredible support from Yuzus and Bride. The Fraggers were able to play so well, and the Falcons take an unbelievable 2-0 over Secret.
Nobody played bad on Falcons today. They played extraordinarily in Secret. You know, in the lower bracket, I'd be afraid if I was any other team, knowing these guys are coming down to face me for elimination. They are not out of the tournament yet. They will still play tomorrow, but man, scary spot to be for one of the favorites of this tournament.
Absolutely. The studio wants to talk about this match. I'm certain of it. Let's not keep them waiting.
The French take flight here on day one of Phase 2. Leo, you've got to be proud.
Yeah, I'm super proud, but at the same time, I'm a bit sad, you know. Team Secret, also our brothers, they're absolute a unit of a team, really.
Yeah.
I just have to say, like, right now, there was no match, right? I think I'm looking at Falcons. We said it before, going into Chalet, it was all going to be the key, the gunfights. And I had that one round in my eyes where I saw Yuzu sitting on side. The side is completely empty. Secret has given up entirely. They're just so focused on fighting on the roam and fighting and gunfights that they completely left side. And you know what? Falcons didn't take side. They chose the gunfight instead.
Yeah.
And they went and fought the roamers instead of taking the side because it was just a TDM map.
Can you imagine the comms there? Guys, I'm on site. No, we want to fight them. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go somewhere else.
I mean, honestly,
who cares for the objective?
When you look at the amount of multi-kills that were achieved just by Falcons alone in this series, let alone this map, I think I looked at the map and 7 or 8 rounds in, we had 4 multi-frags.
Yeah.
It's just running out of control.
And I think momentum's a crazy thing. When you've got a team as talented and as frag-heavy as what Falcons can be, you let them start getting on a roll. You let them start with that momentum and continue it through from Consular and get on a frag-heavy map like Chalet, and it's really, really difficult to stop it. It's like an absolute train.
And one main actor of that was Shaiko. I think on the first map you just saw that he was very, very pivotal to the win of Falcons, but I think especially on Chalet with some super important rounds.
Yes.
Where, like we said, if the goal and the main win condition was taking care of the roamers, look at this one, the 2v2, Bride baits them perfectly. He gets the long angle and the close one afterwards. Shaiko was the main actor, and he was getting hyped. He was the one getting vocal. He was the one hyping everyone. When I'm saying it's his event and he's there to win a side, it's also there in terms of momentum and energy. When many people said that the guy had mechanics but didn't have comms, look at this piece, look at this reaction from him. It goes to show that it's not only about the frags, you know, it's also about the comms.
Yeah, I think so. He's added a lot to his game. He's had to go through not just being a fragger. He's had to play a little bit more of a team-oriented game. You know, Flores is one of his main operators now. But the energy, the hype, the comms, is something we seem to come into every event saying Falcons are focusing on this, Falcons are focusing on that. And they just seem to keep leveling up through to their final form. I think even today, like across the 2 best of 3 today, we've seen their performance level up whilst focusing on different win conditions as well. In their first game against Shopify Rebellion, it was very tactical. It was about the strategy. In the second game against Secret, it was about rolling that momentum, winning those key gunfights, and they excelled in both today.
Shopify Rebellion made a mistake that is very dangerous right now for any team in this tournament. They gave hope to Falcons. On that 7-7 moment, on the very last map, when it could have been.
It feels like the turning point.
Exactly. It should have been. It should have been Falcons in lower bracket. It should have been. They were in a 3v5. There was no way out, 50 seconds left. When they won that match, the hope and the match was there. The fire grew. And at that moment, look at the Falcons we just saw. Destroyed Secret 2-0. Secret, we were actually undefeated going into this. So look, I think we're just witnessing a rebirth of Falcons right now.
We certainly are. And you know what? That's a really scary prospect, because they have just made main stage. I'm sure they'll talk about it in the interview.
They're going to play in the main stage again, but this time in France, their home country. Congratulations on that. You were really happy, as you should be. We are talking about that. Your grandma usually calls you after the games on Snapchat, so I wanted to really have her reaction to that. Do you have plans on taking your family to the venue to watch you play?
I bring my friends, my brother. There's my girlfriend right now in the hotel. So, I'm really, how to say? I'm just losing words right now. But I'm really happy and excited to play in front of the crowd, the French crowd especially.
Yeah, that means so cool. What does it mean for you to play in France?
It's been a lot because all my friends take their tickets. I wanted my grandma, my mom, my sister, my girlfriend to come as well. So this win is really special because that will be the first time for all of them to see us playing. So it's amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting thing to watch, and the crowd might be cheering for you, right?
I think so. They should be because yeah, we have 3 French people. Even the staff is French from Paul and Stewie. So yeah, I think everyone will be for us, and we'll try to bring the SI home.
Okay, well, let's talk about the game we just watched. I told you that I thought it was going to be 3 maps, but okay, Chalet, we are done. That's it. What was the main thing that you focused on while prepping for Secret? They are not an easy team to play against.
I think after the first game, we just chill a bit, and after that, the most important thing is to be like confident on what we will do and follow the game plan. And just be active on the communication, and that's it.
Yeah, you told Tomalish about the chilling after game 1, how important it is to take care of your body, of your mental health. How does that affect you during the tournament days?
I think it affects a lot. If you sleep well, if you work out a bit for your health, and also for your mental and your brain to do something else than just working on the game. From on my side, it helped a lot. So yeah, it's mean a lot to be a good player and a consistent player.
Did you take a nap after the game 1?
No, we even could not because the free game was 2-0.
Yeah, it was too fast.
So no, that was too fast. We didn't have like the time to order food, eat, and then instantly playing. So I'm happy it was only 2 maps.
Well, okay, I took much of your time, but I need to talk about the Fortress map. In the game 1, it was a 1-7 for them and for you. But you still left it open, so it shows how confident you are in that map, even with the mistakes that you made.
I think he's more, how to say it, he will give the good answer to you.
No, I think Fortress, we work on this map a lot. We are still confident on the map. Some bad map can happen. I don't think Fortress is the problem. I think we just did some idiot mistake, I will say. And that's why we are not scared to play Secret on this map.
Okay. Go call your grandma, go call your brother, your family. Congratulations. I'm happy for you both. And we see you all in the main stage. Bye-bye.
Not yet. We're not there yet. Don't worry about it. But
2 more days, yeah.
Yeah. But honestly, I mean, I think it means so much. Like we saw it in Sao Paulo when we saw the Brazilian teams make main stage, right, Leo? Like there is something about home turf that just changes an approach.
I think it's a double-edged sword. Obviously, I didn't go to an SI in Paris, but I played, the grand final of French Cup. But I will still say that having my family there for the first time, having my brother and my parents watching me on stage play the grand final, it made me nervous. You know, either it can boost you, either it can give you some extra stress. You don't want to disappoint them as well. No. I'm wondering how much that will have an impact on a team that has suffered stress and nerves before. Is that going to impact them early on the main stage, or will they manage to go to the grand finals and this time maybe win it? That's going to be a big question. I think many eyes will be on them.
They might be EU's only hope, though. I will say, because we now have every other team in the lower bracket. And with the way the routing's going to go, we might have all of the rest of the European teams going home tomorrow.
Well, let's actually have a look at what you're talking about there and go back on the results of today.
Yeah.
Because it really hasn't looked all that great for the European rosters. Granted, I think, we only saw 2 play today? Am I mistaken? Sorry. I mean, 2 dropped down. That's my apologies. But Team Heretics losing early on, I mean, that was a pretty pivotal moment for their campaign, but by God, did Furia look good.
Yeah, and I think that was expected. I mean, they were facing the world champions, and let's just remind everyone that these guys were still in Tier 2 only a couple of weeks ago. Some big surprises as well. I'm thinking Space Station taking over M80 in a 2-0. I thought that was going to be a bit closer. And looking at this, I think that Fluxo taking a map of FaZe with a wave FaZe, I'm looking that dominant as well, is still a surprise. We're looking now at the upper and lower bracket, and that's exactly what you say, Jack. It could be a dire day for Europe tomorrow.
Yeah, of course. So FaZe, Furia, Falcons all confirm main stage, and the winner currently of Space Station and Wildcard will then confirm main stage. But that top line of the lower bracket is where it could go very wrong for Europe. These will be the games when we talk about tomorrow's fixtures. But M80 against G2 in the lower bracket, loser goes home. Brutal. The winner of that plays Secret, loser of that goes home. Let me remind you, M80 are the current major champions and believe they play their best Siege when they're under the cosh and when they're against great teams. That could be crazy, Obviously, Heretics being a tier 2 team, we don't necessarily expect them to progress through to the main stage.
Sure.
Even if they get through, they've got Fluxo W7M to play. So for tomorrow, for Europe especially, it could be a very dark day at the Six Invitation.
Rob, did you just trick the bracket? Am I noticing 3 teams of APL facing each other in the low bracket? I thought I saw Daystar and D+ facing each other and going up to Weibo.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't know
yeah.
what you're
No,
talking about.
I see you
Look,
there.
let's not go back and look at Reload either. Let's just focus on tomorrow's matches instead. As you said it, Daystar and D+, they go head-to-head on the B stream to kickstart the day. But it is the A stream that I think we all have eyes on. G2, M80, Fabian, G2. It just does not give up here at the SI, does it, big dog? Leo.
No, absolutely not. I'm looking at these two and I'm thinking, wow, whatever happens, we're looking at a super team. Either G2, who had their struggles throughout the group stage, but also that have hundreds of thousands of fans behind Stompin that want to see him lift a trophy.
Sure.
And it's not looking good. And on the other side, you've got the major winners that once again, just like when they did in Manchester, after winning an event, they disappear and they look in shambles.
And this comes back to the fact that, you know, group stages and the first place in groups was actually secured by teams that were maybe not expected. You know, the Weibos, the wildcards of this world that sorted the bracket into this way.
It's APL's fault, and Rob.
Okay, there we go. Hot news, just in.
It's all my fault?
It's Rob's fault.
Okay, fair enough. You know what? I'll take the blame. But fortunately, you won't have to sit with this blame for much longer because that is all we have for Phase 2, Day 1 on the A stream. But as we just mentioned, Wildcard and SSG are going head-to-head right now. We'll leave you watching what should be an incredible Map 2 and potentially Map 3. Take care.
Ashen into CEO is the only one left. He dies to the rappel. So many ways to counter that play. More than anything, the fact that they had the Yokais. But credit to Wildcard.
I heard bullets going into my shield, bro.
He went fast, played off the smokes, the Glaz combo with the quick blitz plant, and it worked. 10th round, Wildcard retake the lead with the last 2 rounds straight.
That was a massive kill from Bay down below, by the way. Freed up more rappel play later in the round, which ultimately wasn't necessarily needed, but there is a world in which that control could have been pivotal. If Ashen was able to get on Diffuser with some presence over towards lobby, it could have been very difficult for Wildcard to win that in the post. Bay landed that key shot. The rest of the team also did their job, and despite losing the first pick, that plant inside of the smoke ended up being a really great heads-up play from Wildcard. It gives them the lead in the series as we enter into round number 10. We go down to the basement objective.
Wall secure.
And SSG electing to go double info denial with both the Echo and the Maestro on this occasion in play. Tachanka can layer down utility as well. So the expectation will be that SSG probably hold off on much of a roam. Could be a fall off potentially with Red Hatch open, but I've already used the Benja strat once of him lurking over towards open. The anticipation will be that it's a far more traditional basement site this time around from the defense.
2 rounds away for Wildcard. How are those nerves for them? And they lock in a main stage appearance. The lockers and CCTV will certainly be a difficult ask, and it's going to be mainly a bunker hold for SSG. Yoas will start open area. You imagine he'll drop pretty quickly.
Top entry, top square entry.
Oh my
for
god.
Wildcard.
We did not get that drone, by the way.
And lobby control for Wildcard.
I'm reloading.
Response from Newers, who wants to play low risk as hypothesized earlier. Again, the key operators really to look at late round are going to be the Ashen on the Maestro and Faults on the
I
Echo.
like this. A little bit of info towards Square just to get a bit of an idea. Are they setting up for a default server side hit? If they're not, then more so maybe lobby side. Obviously, they've opened up that vault. have opened up Elevator. And what that then means for SSG is they can then reposition off this information, get J90 into a better position to use that to Chenka. Yeah, Fault is on that square Yokai, so he's getting information now by Kansan opening up with a secondary hard breach towards square. He'll communicate that over. He also spots Dash over towards electrical. The power, I mean, just the benefit of having that whole extra Yokai, if that gets shot, it's like, okay, well, I got 2 more. Yep, check the garage lurk. The Echo is so powerful. Nitrocell from Benja though to Baby Shark. Well, that's perfect heading into the final 45 seconds of this round, and it will be rather default by wildcard.
The Maestro,
the Maestro cam is being a nuisance. Look at Dash's health from that.
Yeah. There's another camera inside of CCTV room itself to potentially chip him down later on as well in this round.
I don't know if you can go default here. You're going to have to spread. Go vault, go elevator, try and wrap around the site. Dash will probably be the one that has to come in from server almost by himself.
A plant seems incredibly unlikely.
The plant can happen if they draw presence elsewhere, and that's exactly what they're doing, but they lose Spiker on the drop. Over towards open hatch. Kansan does get one, but Dash then losing his life, and this round's done. No time for Bay to clutch this one. We're going to go 5-5. SSG holding strong in the basement of Bank, but the real test for them defensively will be above basement.
I actually just stumped them, bro, with the amount of util we just had. Look.
I mean, the amount of util they had was great.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right.
I'm bringing the zombie stock, bro.
And Wildcard were never at any point in that round in a position to plant, and they also couldn't play make because of the amount of information that was on offer against the split push too. Wildcard probably could have had another 30-45 seconds in that round, and I still think it would have been a very similar end result. That was,
I mean, the
really
Nitrocell didn't help either. You're 4v5. The Maestro cam down blue stairs. Nothing's working. And to be fair, I will say, I think the adaptation for Wildcard to understand that if we all just push server, not going to happen. They went for vault, elevator, open hatch drop. But it then just becomes you basically all have to hit your shot and win the 1v1s that you create. And not enough of that happened. Double digits for Benja. And double digits for Dash have been the best for their respective teams in terms of the KD department. Round 11, 5-5 on this second map. Wildcard winning Fortress 7-2. They started Bank with a 3-0 lead as well. It was a 9-round win streak for Wildcard until SSG finally woke up. 4 rounds straight back from them, took the lead. Then Wildcard started to gain the ascendancy once again. And here we are, now all tied on the second map. Clubhouse the decider if SSG could get the job done. And they bring the blitz, staff open, expecting this top floor clear. You heard New as he wanted to bring the Azami and play stock. He will do that.
So Zami hold over towards stock here for Newers in a position where he can still peel back if required. Wildcard, top square, entry point, Kansan to get aggressive and to try and catch Newers maybe. Oh, but Ashen!
Wow!
Double kill with the Nitro. Benja and Newers in the meantime find one apiece, and in the blink of an eye, it's a 1v5.
It's over, the round's done. SSG are going to have map point. Wow. Dash needs a 1v5 ace. A 1v5 ace. The round never even begun. You could clearly see what Wildcard wanted to do, and they did this last time out. If you think back to the 8th round, it was a big success for them. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what you have to answer to that if you're Wildcard. It's just a free round for SSG. They go 6-5, locked up overtime. Good Nitrocell usage, prepared for that blitz rush up above. Logic Bomb rings for Dash, knows that no one's close by, that stock has been vacated. Benja is actually over towards front desk. Benja, though, being very disciplined to not just rush at Dash and give him a 1v1 to then make it a 1v3. Of course, Dash is not going to give up on this. If it was a regular play day, maybe just send it site. upper bracket quarterfinal. And dead. What's Ashen got to say?
Tellers, bro. Tellers.
6-5 to SSG. The round was done about a minute ago.
I thought the Tellers call
Wow,
was a troll, but they actually are going to go
Wow,
Tellers.
they're actually going Tellers Archives.
I respect it.
At 6-5, map point for SSG, they've elected to go Tellers Archives.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
How many times have we seen Tellers Archives so far at SI, guys?
Would you like to take a guess?
No, I don't want to. I'm just going to
Well, I'm going to force you to take a guess anyway.
10 times?
Once.
Damn. I was a 1 in there.
100% attacker win rate.
Once with a 100% attacker win rate. And SSG elect to go Tellers Archives for the final round of regulation on this second map. What have they got cooked up in the strat book?
Well, they bring the castle, that utility likely somewhat to be invested up above here, I presume, to try and defend against the vert. Airlock, the best position to place those, and I think that ends up being the case from Newers. They will want to prevent Wildcard from getting in up above and activating the ram.
See the
And
Kali
there you can
selected
see
by
that
Dash.
extension. Yeah, the Kali in play, so toolage available to deal with that at range. This could shape up to be one of the more interesting tactical rounds between the two so far.
Yeah. And the pressure more on Wildcard now for this at least one single round. SSG have got overtime secured at minimum. Is Clubhouse on the way? Or can Wildcard force overtime? You hear the X-Kairos going off as they have got Dash on that rappel looking towards Kanto. Along with top spiral. Oh, Newers just very lucky. Could have easily got shot there by Dash. It would have been a big opening kill for Wildcard. Dashes away towards elevators.
Nitro lineup from Ashen. Wildcard still yet to get boots on the ground despite the peel back from the rest of this SSG defense. Again, it's Newers over towards elevator shaft. J9O as well, Stockhall, but he'll likely peel down main and does so, chipping away a bit of that drone economy.
There's a Yokai square and there's a Yokai lobby. So both sides of the map are being watched by Faults. A lot of information being received for SSG. Kansan now makes his way in. Top floor. Over towards CEO.
Benja Nitro down below.
Yeah, he's got it in his hand. Benja. Can he find an impact with this Nitrocell? It's the only one that they've got left remaining. While they have got position to be able to play it, it could have a huge impact. But he puts it back in his pocket and wants to hold it for a little bit longer.
Can Faults lobby maybe feed information? Does he have an angle to support Benja on that Nitro? Or maybe even Newers push forward? In the meantime,
Into Archives. They're into Archives going for the plant. Benja is still at least close into Tellers, but the plant will go down. There was no response, no movement from Benja. Wildcard get the plant down inside of Archives. Benja held his position with that, got the kill onto Spiker, dashed through lobby. Makes the move now on the Kali in the post plant. We hear the Razor Bloom in the background and it gets the kill onto Dash. Big utility for J9O. Has one in pocket, faults to get on, but a huge kill from Bay creates a 1v2. 7 seconds, another one onto J9O. It's only Ashen that's left. And he's running out of time. He has no time. We go to overtime as Bay clutches up for Wildcard.
Let's go! Let's go, you're so good, bro. Nice!
Yo, guys, we need to speed up on attack, okay? We're taking too long to get in there.
The pocket pick from SSG falling short. They take a massive risk and it doesn't pay off. Great attack from Wildcard. Good work in the post. Overtime is theirs. And they'll continue on that attacking side. a more traditional selection this time out from SSG. Basement for the opening round.
I mean, it's a ballsy move to go Talus Archives when you got the one opportunity to close the map out and go to map 3, but you had overtime secured. You got double defense overtime. Just allowing that plant to go down, though, with Benja towards Talus. You had Yokais that could have been in play to deny the plant Archives. Just well done from Wildcard, to their credit. Really stepping up here in this series. At least we get a close one on the Saka map, because Fortress was just incredibly one-sided.
10 seconds remaining.
Across the series, in terms of the numbers, only one player who has been able to cross 20 kills, Kansan. Benja on 19 and Bay on 19. We heard, of course, that Wildcard want to speed up their attacks, but if I'm going to be honest, I don't think you can go too fast here to begin overtime on lockers and CCTV. Naturally, it's going to be slow-paced. And SSG offering nothing here in terms of a roam. They're going to play very much for site defense.
Yeah, Newa's open at the moment, but again, he'll chip away at maybe a drone or two if that's what he can find, alongside Asher main stairs. And then he'll make a very low-risk effort to peel back towards the site.
And default for J90, smoke, blue stairs.
Oh, this is a bit aggressive.
Hang on. Yeah, Newa's. Well, into the Blackbeard, he should be opting to fall back and drop this hatch, but he does have the help with the Yokai bursts.
Yeah.
So that's a reason why he has stayed there. The Yokai goes down. And so does Newers. He's now dropped all 5 for SSG towards the basement. J90 will hold blue stairs, 3 gas babes. And that will be the next task for Wildcard to clear his position.
Yeah, don't mind that little heads-up opportunity maybe for SSG to pluck the Blackbeard, but it doesn't quite work out, and Newers, that Glasses util will be much better served in the late round.
Oh, Nitrocell thrown through the hatch will not hit. That was from Newers.
There's one left for SSG. No Tachanka in play, so there'll be a reliance on the smoke and the echo for area denial.
A tense round to begin overtime. J90.
Oh, J90.
How much does he commit?
He commits blue.
Because
so that means they don't have the default
But he's got the Yokai to help him, so it's not just J90.
Yes.
It's J90 plus Faults.
Plus 4 players from Wildcard looking to hunt him down.
And they got the hatch opened up. He's now stuck here. This is a big battle. As long as he can get at least 1 kill. Oh, headshot onto the Blackbeard. Job done. You'll take it. 1 for 1. But here come the ROUs now from Bay. As Wildcard start to push through default server. There is a Yokai inside CCTV. Faults will need that to be around to stop this plant. He can't lose this one.
Love this angle from Faults if he can commit to it. Asher, Nitro, ripped. I don't think it's been effective though.
20 seconds. Time running low. Wildcard are going to have to start to flood this site, allow someone to get the plant down. Kansan hits the headshot onto Benja. Faults will have to stay alive and trust in this Yokai. And he falls. No Echo, no Warden, no SSG. Wildcard straight on through, takes basement bank. Match series point.
Great flood there from Wildcard. It felt like the utility shortage from SSG proving costly with no Tachanka up. The smoke committed to blue. The nitros used and both missing
Nothing
the
was
mark.
working. Nothing worked. They got nothing out of the nitros. They couldn't. I mean, the only thing they got at least was J90 shut down the Blackbeard. So you're playing that blue stairs position. If you can get at least 1 and it's onto a powerful operator like the Blackbeard, that's fine. He at least gets that, but nothing else worked for SSG.
Game's not over yet. Not quite yet.
So, Wildcard. 2 opportunities. And they can book their place to the main stage at 6 Invitational 26. and it has been so deserving. But you have to finish the job to be rewarded.
So to top floor we return. It was a talking point back when we had these bans in play.
And this was won twice by SSG, by the way.
Well,
and only once by Wildcard.
Because the Habana has remained available. It's been a big talking point. Kante's been under a lot of pressure. SSG centering these attacks over towards lobby. We could see a change in theory here for the re-attempt and maybe something more over towards top square. It's certainly not impossible. Could be sight repels in play as well with the sense. So I'm very, very, very intrigued to see what kind of strategy SSG want to employ here, given past success, but the pressure of this moment.
And the pressure certainly is at a high point. If SSG lose this round, they're going to go lower bracket. After dismantling M80 earlier today, they looked in hot form, but Wildcard have been just even hotter. Mirror up from Baby Shark towards Long Desk. Kanto Wall is still electrified. Means that Spiker and Bay can play this hallway safely for the time being.
Now Fultz is over on site repel, so he's in no position to open that wall. SSG, again, likely centering for direct hit based off the ROUs, unless they elect to pivot, there is time.
Capitao not close by to site though for, say, Flame Bolts to push out the Janitor player in Kansan. So if they do this, it's not going to be fully in sync. And a big opening kill, though, for Dash onto Asher. No more ROUs. Those screens that you see, once they go down, they stay down. You no longer have the Sens. You no longer have Ashen. Player advantage for Wildcard. 4 players left up for SSG. Lower bracket seems now likely. Who's going to be the one to stand up as J90 finally rotates over? The repel, the smokes, blocks off the vision to Janitor.
But it's a little bit limited. One of them got caught. The layering here from SSG is so volatile.
Bay over towards Stock, goes for the peak. Almost got the kill onto Benja. But he too himself is now at half health from that mishap. Oh, Benja caught! Lacking, but the trade was quick. Bay should go down, no one close by for the res as the DMR from Dash connects onto Fault as Wildcard now mere moments away from main stage at SI. Down to J90 as Spiker confirms Newers. It's a 4 versus 1 and it is done. Wildcard's Cinderella year continues to new heights here at the 6 Invitational. They are off to the main stage as they defeat SSG 2-0.
For whatever life throws at you, get coverage confidence with AAA Insurance.
Are you as serious about game day dip as I am? Does your perfect dip slip and slide all the way to your boy's house? Now you might be asking, how on earth do you get this heavenly dip from your kitchen to your friend's couch? That's right, Nissan Dip Seat, a car seat for snacks. Wait, what? Is this real?
It's not yet real. The Nissan Dip Seat is the only prototype for safe transportation of dips and snacks. It's a metaphor for how the Nissan Rogue is thoughtfully designed to transport your precious cargo securely and safely. So you can't get one yet.
Fudge. But you know what you can do? Enter to win a Nissan Rogue.
With Penn Foster High School, the park becomes your classroom. Laundry time becomes study time. You can earn your accredited diploma online on your terms. Learn more and enroll anytime online at pennfoster.edu.
The Tyson car is holding the lead, but he's in desperate need of a refuel. Wait a second, folks, is that? It's the Tyson Chicken Cup. That's real protein on the go. Tyson Chicken Cup, found in the freezer aisle. Always been Tyson.
Oh, give me a win where the verdict is in, and our clients are smiling all day.